it's Mama Beth, and I am back finally. I am feeling better, and it's almost Thanksgiving, so now's the time to learn how to make turkey. Okay, I'm getting this uploaded late. I know I have been in a flare, so I've been moving a little slow, but I'm going to try to make it up to you today. So if you have to make a last minute turkey, if somebody calls on you, and of course Christmas is coming, you may want to do the cooking then. So we're going to go over the basics. We're going to talk about everything we're using. All of the ingredients will be in the description, and as always, it's your turkey. So if you want to add some things, take some things away, it's your food. You play with it. You know, I always say, play with your food. Okay, first thing starting out. As you know, when any kind of meat is being cooked, you better have a dang good thermometer, okay? Candies, meats, anything that is temperature sensitive, get your thermometer. Now here is a digital. Here is an analog. As y'all know, when I was cooking chicken, my thermometer out on me. Battery went. And I couldn't find my other one. So went and bought 2 new ones. They are not expensive. They are very much worth investing in. The analog will last as long as the battery does. And look, there's a little extra battery on the back. And this one should last pretty much forever, because it doesn't take a battery. And this is the kind that I can't find. It's in one of my drawers. Y'all know how it is in the kitchen. You put stuff in drawers, or your husband puts stuff away and you can never find it again until you move or, you know, remodel the kitchen. Oops. But I'm telling, aren't I? Okay, but you want to make sure that you have one of these, and we'll go over the correct temperature times when it comes that time. But today with our turkey, we are going to be stuffing it with aromatics. We're going to stuff it with carrots and cut up potatoes, and then I'm going to rub it with butter and sage. And the way I cook my bird is to flip it upside down. That means the breast is down and in all of the juices and savory. And then for the last part, I flip it over and I baste it real good, and I turn the temperature up a little bit so it gets that beautiful golden bronze. Okay, and I'm going to go through each step with you, and we're going to make a turkey. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, let's talk turkey. All these instructions will be down in the description, by the way. Now, first thing you got to do, when you buy turkey, if it's frozen already, you're going to have to thaw it. Now, the best way to thaw it is in the refrigerator, right? That way it slowly goes down in temperature. Or if you don't have enough room in your refrigerator and you bought a huge bird, you put it in your sink. I advise cleaning your sink with Clorox in your water, and just cleaning your sink out. Make sure all the germs and bacteria and all the icky stuff's gone, and just put your bird in the sink, fill it with cold water and ice. Get your bag of ice. I find that around the holidays I end up needing a lot of things for ice baths to keep things cold. There's never enough room, even with the deep freezer, there's never enough room for everything. Okay, now we're going to talk about how long it's going to take for that bird to thaw in your fridge. If you've got a 4 to 12 pound bird, that's a little one, it's going to take 1 to 3 days, believe it or not. See, you got to think ahead when you're doing this. 12 to 16 pounds, which is, my bird's 13 pounds, you will see it in here in a minute, 3 to 4 days, and it took every bit of that. 16 to 20 pounds, 4 to 5 days, and 20 to 24 pounds, honey, you're looking at 5 to 6 days, sometimes a week. It's going to take a while. Give it time, okay? Don't rush through this. Now, the roasting times, we'll talk about that when we get ready to put the bird in. But, let's see, did I put that in twice? I'm making sure, because I always copy from my notes into my description, and I don't want to tell you anything wrong. But after you've got your turkey good and thawed, you're going to soak it. Now, I soak mine in brine, which I fill my container up and my roasting pan, and I start on the breast side, and I fill it with water and a 1/4 cup of salt just salt water. Some people add cloves and different things, and there are different recipes on the internet that, you know, use everything from vinegar on. Mine, I use simple salt water. That's all I've ever used with it, and it always turns out fine. So, and then I add my spices as it's roasting, and that's why I do that. You know, I don't want to alter the flavor too much. I don't want anything to clash, okay? But I soak it usually for 6 to 12 hours on one side, and then I flip it until I'm ready to cook. And sometimes that can be as much as 6 to 12 hours. But you got to remember, I've got it cold, so it's fine. Salt water also keeps it from turning or anything like that. Like I say, with turkeys, take your time. All right. Now, I'm going to show you all the ingredients that I put in my turkey. And as I said, play with your food. If you like a certain flavor, then by all means add it. Let's take a look at what I got. Okay. Take a look at all these goodies. All right. You're going to see I got my butter. This is butter that we actually got in Amish country up in Ohio. We loved it there. We got lots of cheese, and I got this butter, and it's supposed to be really, really great. We tried one of the small packs. I forget what we were using, but I think rolls. Anyway, so I have this for cooking. I haven't used it yet, as you can see. But then I'm going to melt my butter and add sage. Right there, my crushed sage or ground sage, and that'll go on the bird. Now, here in the back, that's the giblets. Now, don't forget to pull your giblets out after you've thawed your turkey. Remember, inside each cavity, usually, there's some other part of the bird, either the neck or a bag of giblets. Sometimes they're all in the back cavity. Sometimes they're, you know, in both, depending on the size of the bird. Then I have a beautiful bright red apple. You'll see what I do with that. Then here in my bowl, I just have some chunks of good old sweet Vidalia onion. And I'm going to add salt and sage to that. And I'm going to stuff it right there in the butt of that bird. Okay? I also am going to add fresh cloves of garlic. And I don't dice them up or anything. I just smash them. And if you know how to get into garlic and get the cloves out, it's really easy. You can put them in a bowl and shake them like you do eggs. That takes a long time and it's a little hard on me. So basically I just take the heel of my knife and just kind of smash it. And out come the clove, the good part, and the papery filament comes off, and it's real easy. But I put a good amount, and you know, with salt, pepper, and my sage, and my onions, and my carrots, you know, it's surprising how much will fit in there. But now, after I've soaked my bird in brine, and as I say, I've, you know, done both sides, I take it out and I let it air. I let it dry off. I pat it a little bit with some paper towels, and I just let it air out. So that way, when I go to butter it, the butter's going to stick. Most people forget about that. You don't want to start working on a wet bird. Nothing good about a wet bird. So I'm going to have it buttered and seasoned and stuffed with the aromatics. And then we're going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees. And as you'll see, the time, you can pick your own time, depending on how you want your bird roasted. All right, be right back. All right, let's get ready to stuff this bird. Now, what I've done is I've added probably almost 2 tablespoons of salt, because the salt needs to soak through. You all know that. If you've cooked, and then I've added probably about maybe half a tablespoon of pepper, and then I'm going to add a little more sage to this because I want that good sage flavoring. And I don't measure this, I just kind of guess. Y'all know how we do. I'm just going to put that on there now. My hands are clean, of course. I've got my soapy water with a little bleach over there. I washed them. I have no rings on. No rings on my sausage fingers. Woo, my fat hands. It has been raining all day, and yes, my hands are swollen. My feet look worse. Just grab you some of that, and we're going to shove it in the bird. Don't be afraid. Make sure you get it all the way to the back. Especially the onions. The carrots can kind of come out some. They take a little longer to cook. So it's okay if they're a little more towards the opening. That's all right. I don't use a whole lot of carrots in there. I mainly want the onions and the spices. Now, like I said, you can use chives, you can use leeks, you can use any kind of aromatic herb that you like the flavor of. I think there's a recipe, Alton Brown's got it, that uses actually cloves and some different things. Whatever you want to do, it's your bird. Now, when you pick it up, say, "What's up, turkey butt?" And I always put that right over. And you can tie it with twine if you want. If you want to keep it nice and neat. I'll be doing that later. But right now, I'm gonna get my hands real dirty. And I'm gonna butter this bird. Now, if you've got a bigger bird, it's easier. But you want to get between skin and the meat. And you want to get that butter in there as much as possible. And I usually just take my thumb. Oh, you can hear my bracelet and watch rattling. I'm going to get as much butter on this bird and under the skin as possible. Okay, now this side's going down first. So it's all right. I've got my butter and with sage on it. And we're just going, as this bird's going to the sauna, it's getting a butter mask. It's not going to have a wrinkle one, are you, birdie? Did y'all see Trump pardoning the birds? I thought it was cute. They're bread and butter. They were pardoned. No more indictments. Okay, take your good wad and get it up in there. Oh. I've seen people use whole sage leaves when they have a real big bird and actually arrange them. And it was really pretty. But Lord, getting between my fingers are too weak anymore to get up underneath the skin like that. I get as far back as possible. This is not a butterball turkey. They actually inject the butter in their birds. But, and that's a good idea. Because turkey is naturally a drier meat. It doesn't have a lot of fat on it. So to make it taste juicy and succulent, you got to add some to it. And what better than butter? Okay, now I got the bird all done right there. I'm going to come back and tie it up. But I want to talk to you about, let me get some of this off my hands. I'm rather messy. But I'm going to talk to you about the giblets and that apple. So let's turn the bird. I'm just rhyming bird with everything. Bird, turd, whatever. Alright, as you can see, as we turn the birdie around, we have the front cavity opening. Lord, forgive me, my hands are weak. I'm going to put some butter in there too. But that opening, going to have an apple in it. Alright? And if you don't want to make your own giblet gravy, then fine. You know, do whatever you want with the giblets and the turkey neck. Some people really love to eat the neck. I always make giblet gravy. I will put the recipe for that because I'm not making giblet gravy on this video. Here's the neck. Some people find the neck to be the best part, and they say just put it down in with the turkey when you're roasting it, because we are going to add the rest of our carrots and add another onion to go around it, a little bit of water, and some people just want the neck cooked. They just won't eat it. I make gravy with it, and with a little bag of giblets, which is all the innards, the organ meat, the heart, you know, lung, not the lungs, I don't think. I think it's just the liver and the heart and just odds and ends, the giblets. Okay, so I am going to find my twine first off and tie this bird's legs up and then flip him over. Or her. I'm thinking it's a him. Alright, be right back. Okay, our bird is now breast down. You're going to find that it's going to be a little wobbly. Okay, the breast is not a even surface. That's why most people cook it breast up. It kind of makes sense. It sits easier, but the problem with that is the meat gets drier in the breast when it's up. Makes sense. That's why you have to baste the turkey that way so much. This saves you all of that. Now, see that cavity right there? We are going to put this absolutely beautiful apple that's been nice and cleaned right there. And pull the skin up so it sits there in a little nest. Get it? Bird nest. Ha ha. I'm funny today. Alright, and then the final step is I'm going to take a little salt, because remember we seasoned the other side, but we haven't this one other than the butter and paprika. And I'm just going to shake, a little salt. Little pepper. Little bit of pepper. Let's see. I can hardly see the thing. I swear. I wear my glasses, I need glasses. I wear my glasses, I need glasses. So it's damned if I do, damned if I don't. So we've got a little salt, a little pepper. We've got sage in the butter. We've got that beautiful apple there. Now we're going to take what's left. We've got just actually a few carrots, but you know what? With this pan, I don't have a lot of room. So I'm just going to put these carrots around. La da 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 da. Do 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 do. It's garlic in there too. There's a little bit of onion, but not really much. Okay, now to make sure that everything stays nice and moist, 2 cups of water. Don't pour it on your bird. Just pour it in at the back. It'll make it all the way around. Won't it? That's right. One of the things I always say, remember, is have plenty of paper towels, because when you grease this thing up, you're going to get butter all over your hands, and you don't want to get butter everywhere. So, yeah, normally I'm stingy on using the paper towels. Not today. So, let's talk about cook times. Okay? Okay, let's talk about how long you should cook your turkey. Now, it all depends on, first of all, how you like your turkey to taste. Because if you cook at a higher temperature faster, obviously it's not going to be quite as moist unless you're in there every like 5 to 10 minutes and you are really putting that liquid over and basting all the time. That's a lot of work. You got to be prepared for that. Okay, my favorite is, it says, now I downloaded some guidelines because I didn't want to be guessing. And I know that I've always cooked my turkey at 350 and I went by the weight. So if your turkey weighs 12 to 14 pounds, which is what mine is, isn't he pretty? I'm so proud of him. It's going to be 3.5 to 3 3/4 hours. Oh, wait, no, I'm lying to you. It's 2 3/4 hours to 3 hours. All right. So, and that's a good cook time for me. Usually what I do while it's roasted is I fix my sides that need to be fixed right away. Like while I'm doing this, I usually have potatoes boiling, making some homemade mashed potatoes. I do my cranberry sauce. I'll be putting that video up. I don't know if I'm going to have it done by Thanksgiving because, like I said, I'm a spoonie. And when it rains, sometimes we have trouble doing things. It kind of zaps us. But we'll see. But you will get my special cranberry and mandarin and that cranberry sauce. And even if you don't like normal cranberry sauce, you'll like mine. But so I'm going to cook him for 350 for 2 3/4 hours usually. And one of the things that you need to remember is that even when your turkey comes out of the oven, or chicken or whatever you're cooking, if it's still in the pan, it doesn't just automatically quit cooking. Oh no, it stays in there. That warmth's in there, so it keeps cooking a little bit longer. So I always go by the temperature. I check at the thigh and I check at the breast. And of course, I told you for the last. Now, if I'm cooking this for almost 3 hours, probably at 2.5 Excuse me. I'm losing my voice. Give me just a second. Probably at 2.5 hours, I'm going to flip my bird and put the breast up. I will take the top off and set the temperature a little bit higher and baste it probably every 7 to 10 minutes. And then it's going to brown and get that beautiful crisp, you know, flavor to the skin. And oh, it's just so pretty. But you'll see, because I'll show you. Now, if your turkey weighs 15 to 16 pounds, you can cook it anywhere from 425, and it'll still take you three hours and a little bit more. If you're cooking it at 350 like I do, it's going to take you 3.5 hours. But know the size of your bird. That's really important. I've had people call me, my friends call me, and I'll say, I don't know how big my bird is. How long do I cook it? Well, it was right there on the tag. You opened your bird without knowing how much it weighed. And they say, yeah. I say, you better go dig in the trash, or you're going to have a nightmare in your hands. And you need to have a cooking thermometer. If you don't have a cooking thermometer, you're screwed. You know the little, this one's got one, it's a little blue thing, and it's supposed to pop out when it's done. Well, let me tell you, those things aren't always reliable. You know who I rely on? Me and my thermometer. Okay, the temperatures you want are the same for any other meat. You know, we talk about 165 for chicken, that right at the bone, that's the temperature it should be. Well, that's what it should be at the in the leg. The thickest part of the thigh is where you want to measure for your turkey first. And then at the breast, make sure I'm not going to lie to you, it's 165 for the breast and 180 for the thigh. Okay, now they've switched around and said this and that and the other was safer. I'm going to buy these temperatures because I know that they're right. Undercooked turkey can make you very sick, just like anything else. You know, we all have different meats have different germs. Don't kill your family at Thanksgiving. I'm sure they'd appreciate being able to enjoy the holiday and Black Friday and everything else. But yeah, check your temperature. Now, I use a convection oven, but a regular oven's worked for me all my life. So I just got a new pan, but I have cooked in just a regular baking pan with aluminum foil over it. You name it. If there was a way that I had to, you know, use a different pan and cover it, aluminum foil I don't like to use anymore because we know that heavy metals can cause damage to the brain. They're finding in patients who have died and had Alzheimer's had an excess of aluminum in their brains. So I don't like using aluminum foil. Remember how we used to wash it and keep it, and Lord, cooking in aluminum pots and pans. Y'all know how I feel about that. If you've watched my videos, watch all my videos, please. They're really good. But anyway, so let me make sure that I haven't missed anything. But I'm getting ready to put this thing in the oven. I'm gonna put the lid on it and put it in the convection oven, and then when it's done cooking, or when I don't know if you want to watch me flip it or not. That might get a little messy, because I have a hard time with it sometimes. But you'll get to see it when we're in the final stages. All right, see you soon. Okay, it's in there. All we have to do now is wait. See you in a few minutes. Okay, we have had the turkey in there now. It's been about 2.5 hours. I haven't flipped it, but look, even with the lid on, how it is browned. The convection oven, it's really so much better. But as you can see, the meat is coming off the bone. Now the breast is on the other side, and you look at that apple. It's just so pretty. And remember the temperature, it's 165 for the breast meat when we stick the thermometer all the way down, and 180 for the thighs. So let's check with our thermometer. I'm getting a shadow. as you see, it's the analog style thermometer. My camera is fogging up, but let's bring that in on the, this is on the thigh. Let that go up. And it's going all the way in. And it is actually, it's at 180, 185, 190. It is done. That meat is done in the, on the wing there. That leg is good. Now let's try all the way into the breast. Since the breast is upside down, I'm not the best cameraman in the world. And that's going up. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. If you all can't read it, as you can see, it's over 185, it's about 190. That is a done bird. And you know what? Because it is so moist, I am not going to flip it over because the meat would clearly fall apart. Now, I'm going to leave it to sit. The meat will still be cooking. So, I think we're good. I'm going to let this bird rest. And then I'm going to slice it in the pan. Now, it's not going to be beautiful, you know, slices like you see in the store. That's not the way real cooked bird does. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slice it and I'm going to put it all on a beautiful platter. And this bird is done. How pretty is that? And it's perfect to serve. If you have your family over and you want to do the traditional cutting of the meat, you know, by all means do that. If you don't want to cook your bird with the breast down, by all means don't. Do it your way. But this is how we do it, and it's going to be so pretty. My husband will help me cut this up, and there will be some pretty slices, but I am so happy with the way it's turned out. I'm going to take a picture for my thumbnail. And God bless. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I love you. You love you. And this is Mama Beth's way of making the big old bird. That's right. Enjoy your holiday. Bye-bye.